Welcome back, guys, to another roundtable. My name is Adam. With me once again, I have Rusmin and Victor.
Hi,
guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. And today we're going to talk about Microsoft and Activision once again. So we've covered the acquisition of Activision by Microsoft before at this roundtable, and if you want to, you can check that out. And the deal was recently approved by shareholders, right?
Yep.
So
both of the shareholders.
both shareholders, right?
Yeah.
So just to recap, Microsoft is proposing to buy Activision for $95 per share. All right, so that's the offer price. But the thing is, Activision is still trading below $95 per share. And at this point of this recording, it is trading at about $77, $78 per share.
Yeah.
So that begs the question, why is it still undervalued in that sense?
So
Because that implies there's an upside of at least 20%.
Yeah, 20% in a year.
In a year. So this deal is expected to close a year.
June 30 June 2023.
2023.
That's the final.
So there's an upside, potential upside from where Activision is today to close at $95. So the question is, why is Activision still trading below its offer price of $95?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to the spread, right, in most cases, every case is different, but in most cases, it revolves around three things. First is whether the shareholder approve. Second is the regulatory consent. And third, I think is the intention of the financing ability of the bidder, right? So I think recently they already approved, shareholder already approved the deal already. So that passed. So lastly, it's just the regulatory consent and whether the bidder have the financing ability on that, okay? And because there's still some time to the end date, so there's always a spread over there. But as we go closer to the date, right, the price will fluctuate up and down, depending. But if you get close to the very date, right, you usually close to the
so it depends on
price.
the news.
Yep,
if there's good news about the deal being approved and everything, you would see that spread narrow.
Yeah.
But if you get some bad news, things could go the other way.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I think the biggest concern it comes to is actually the FTC, because if you talk about the financing of the bidder, I think Microsoft have enough cash. I think Rusmin,
I think if you look at their latest result, they have about close to 105 billions in terms of cash and short-term investment. So, and of course, this will continue to grow as they're actually generating about 50 billion of free cash flow as of full year of 2021.
So this is chump change for Microsoft.
Yep.
And that's why they are able to offer all cash deals.
Yeah.
It's not like some funny share swap or share deals, right?
All right. So Microsoft has no problems basically buying out Activision.
Yes.
So that part is settled. So what's left is basically the regulatory approval.
Yes, correct.
So what's happening over there?
So I think the main concern FTC have is actually most of the time is antitrust, right? Whether they actually dominate, the gaming industry and it is bad for the consumer and all this, right? So for my take is that I think before the acquisition was being announced, I think Microsoft was having about 6.5% market share in the gaming, right? So Activision is about, I think, 10.7%. So if you roughly combine both of them, it's about 17.2%. Generally, I think the industry itself is quite fragmented. They are not the only game player. So I don't think there is a big concern on this, whether they are antitrust, right?
Yeah, so I think there is something that, in China, as long as you have a monopoly over the contents and it's only available on, let's say, Xbox and not available on PlayStation, that is considered anti-competitive behavior. Okay, so that will infringe the antitrust law, and that's the reason why I think Tencent Music have to revoke write emails to all their clients that they already previously agreed under exclusive agreement, telling them that they can now go to other platforms. Okay. Right. So that actually picked up the whole antitrust. So we don't know whether US is going to follow that path, and if they do, this deal may potentially get blocked.
Yeah, because that's China. China is its own ecosystem with its own form of government.
Yes.
If the government says something, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
But in the US, it's different, right?
You can challenge it.
Yeah. You can drag this through the courts and everything. You can have there's lobbying efforts and everything in the US.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you think the US will basically follow China's lead in this sense?
Well, I think US is still a capitalist market, so it's not making money is still the most important criteria. So I think it's going to be a tough job for FTC to block this deal, but it could be also the first case that they can be successful, because I don't know what Lina Khan is going to do. She's pretty new. I don't know about all this regulation, what kind of angles they can find to try to block the deal, right? So I would say the odds are 60-40 the deals may go through, but then
That's in your opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion, I would put it at 50-50 because
Okay.
I myself don't know whether the FTC is really going to change everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the FTC is just one more data, prod and continue to investigate Microsoft and ask them, and Activision ask them to give in more data. I think another big concern was because I think Activision owns Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is on also is used in Sony, right? So that PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a concern whether if they bought it, then PlayStation there's
But
no
it's just
Call of
one
Duty.
game.
Yeah, there's
I
one
mean,
game, right?
it's not.
Yeah.
I don't even play the game.
Yeah,
I
so
don't even care
but
about
if they do that, that's antitrust, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but it's considered anti-competitive
Yeah,
behavior,
correct.
right?
So
Yeah.
I think Microsoft already said that they won't do that, so they will continue to let Sony, PlayStation have their Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So what you're saying is that because this antitrust thing is basically Microsoft, when they acquire Activision, they could just basically become a walled garden in a sense.
Yep.
All this IP that they own, they just want it exclusive to Microsoft platforms,
Yeah.
and that in a sense is anti-competitive.
Yep.
But we see it all the time anyway. Currently in the gaming industry, I mean, there are games that are exclusive to the PC,
Yeah.
exclusive to the
Yeah.
PlayStation, exclusive to the Xbox. So why would this be,
That's why
anti-competitive?
they are here to change.
Yeah.
Okay, so
To
you're saying this
change
could
it,
change
yeah.
the landscape
Yes.
in that
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah.
but I think antitrust is not a very big thing for Microsoft and Activision in terms of when they combine.
Okay.
I think that probably is a very low probability, and that's why FTC is propping on other stuff. They are propping on like consumer data, whether the combined company, the access of the consumer data, or the labor market, whether the game developer market will get impacted by them
Okay.
if they were to combine.
So it's just basically doing their due diligence.
Yeah.
They're probing all these things to see
Yeah.
what's going to happen. I think it's just like
Yep.
things that they must do anyway.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
But,
And of
okay.
course, Activision have all those like hostile workplace and all this,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
But looks like the deal might go through, right? Because we see Warren Buffett is buying.
So what do you say about it? Yeah. Okay. So he bought.
Yeah.
He bought more actually.
he bought
Before
more.
the deal announced,
Okay.
where Microsoft is going to acquire Activision, and then following that, the price there was still a arbitrage opportunity, and I think Warren Buffett has been started to
increasing,
buy,
yeah.
and I think he has actually increased his stake to about high single digit, 9.5% on Activision, right? And basically, he says that he occasionally come across arbitrage deal, and apparently Activision is one of those deals that he decided to take action. But he said the odds are in his favor.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
But absolutely, he said they could also lose money, a fairly large sum of money, depending on what happens if the deal blows up, because they don't know what the Justice Department is going to do, what the EU is going to do, what other 30 other jurisdictions in the United States will do, right? But one thing they know is that Microsoft has got the money, right?
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that's something where I think he decided to place the bet. So I believe Warren Buffett is actually fairly confident that the bids will.
Okay.
Yeah.
will
But
go through,
I
yeah.
think Buffett is able to bet on that is because he got in before the deal
Okay.
actually announced.
At a
so
lower
he
price.
At a lower
low
price.
price,
So he
yeah.
already benefit from that. So he averaged up at a higher price. His risk reward is still very, very high
Okay.
as compared to you
If-
just going
right
in
now.
right now, right?
Today, yeah.
Right. So if you were to look back at risk reward, let's say we were to say that the risk reward is 50-50%, right? 50-50, right? The share price either go up or go down. That's all.
So
right?
that means you have no idea what it's going to be.
Yeah,
You think it's a coin flip?
Yeah, it's a
50-50.
conflict 50-50, right?
Okay.
So right now the price is about 77.84. So your upside is about $95. That is about 22% upsides. The difference is about $8.58. Right? Then right now you have your downside. So how do you measure your downside is I took the free cash flow of Activision, right? I calculate their growth. Their past 10 years growth, right, is about 10.3. And their past 5 years CAGR of free cash flow is about 2.94. So I roughly take the in between of these 10 years and 5 years. That's about 6.6%. So let us talk about 6% growth that they will move on for the next 10 years, right? I look at Statista. They say that the video game market is expected to grow about 8.17% from 2002 to 2026, right? So, and I'm going to discount the free cash flow by 6% because the long-term average US Treasury bill is about 6%, right? So that gives me the free cash flow earning power, right, of $29.70. So that is the per share value. Then they have the book value of 22.81. So we add it up, and next comes the termination fee. So because right now the shareholder have approved, in the event, right, that the deal is terminated, right, Microsoft have to pay $2 billion to Activision if they terminate before 18 January 2023. But if they terminate after 18 January 2023 to 18 April 2023, right, they have to pay 2.5 billion. Then if they terminate after 18 April 2023 all the way until the June, right, that will be 3 billion that they have to pay to Activision.
Okay.
So that is the termination fee. So I will take the lowest, okay, which is $2.57. So you add this three figure up, 29.7, 22.81, and $2.57. That gives you an intrinsic value of 85.08
For Activision.
For Activision, right?
Yep.
So that's your downside. So that's about $29 and 29.2% downside.
Okay.
Right, so if I 50% of the differences between the reward and the share price is about $8.58. Then the 50%, the difference between the share price and the risk, right, is about $11.38. So the risk reward ratio for 50-50, right, is 0.75,
Which is below 1.
which is below 1. So
Which
that
is
is not a
not-
smart bet.
Yep.
Right,
Okay.
right. But in the event, let's say you are very confident that the FTC is going to go through, instead of 50-50, you bet that the reward, that the probability they're going to get is 60%, and the probability that you're going to lose is 40%. That is going to change the game, because that you'll get a risk reward ratio of 1.13.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Which I think that's what Warren Buffett is betting on.
All right.
Yeah.
And he's even better because he's at a lower share
Correct.
price.
He's
entry
definitely
price.
have a higher
Yes.
risk reward ratio as
Yeah.
compared to what we are seeing right now.
Yeah.
So someone can't just like go, I'm following Warren Buffett and just
Yeah.
doing exactly what it does, because you can't exactly do it because you got in at a lower price.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're watching this and you think there's an arbitrage opportunity, you basically have to weigh up the risk reward
Correct.
ratio according to your entry price
Yep.
and
Yeah.
what you think the probability
Yeah.
of this deal is going through.
So if you think that it's 50-50, then probably you may not want to go in, because it don't make sense, right?
Yep.
Right. So but if you think it's 60-40, then I think that there's a chance to really, earn the merger arbitrage, right?
Okay.
But then if you're still afraid, even though you feel that it's 60-40, right?
Yeah.
Then the allocation of your the amount that you want to allocate to Activision should be a smaller amount.
You can't bet the house.
Yeah. So if it didn't turn out that well, it does not kill you.
Yeah, right. And Buffett has said that there's no guarantee it
Yeah.
will go through, right?
Yeah.
There's
He-
still
he-
lots of things that you
Yeah.
And
consider.
he did say that he could potentially lose a lot of money from
Alright.
this deal, right?
All right.
So I think for anyone who is actually looking to take this arbitrage opportunity, I think you have to be prepared
Yeah.
to hold long term if the deal never go through, and there is going to be a short term pressure because the price is likely going to crash back to its pre-deal announcement
Yeah.
Yeah.
level, right? Which is about, I think it's about 60-ish, there about.
65.
It was $65 before the
Yeah,
deal was
but
announced,
that's before all the recent correction that we are actually
Yes, correct.
seeing, right, across a lot of COVID beneficiary stocks. And I actually look at some of all these stocks. A lot of them actually hit the COVID level or even lower, right? And Activision is one of those that actually so-called didn't get affected because of this deal is on the table, right? And I look at some companies like Take-Two, their share price have been dropping since year to date.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what you're
so-
saying is basically, if this deal is off the table, Activision could go below $65.
There could be another 30% drop immediately
From
right?
where
Yep,
it is.
From where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the risk that you have to
Yep.
watch out for. You could basically end up with shares of Activision and you don't know what to do with
And you
it.
become a long-term investor.
Long-term investor because you just don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So when short-term back didn't turn out well, that become a long-term investment.
All right. So if you're basically looking at this arbitrage, because I think that it is quite an attractive arbitrage because it's like 20% gain in
a year.
1 year.
Yep.
It's a high-profile case.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
And
a
they
lot-
can close even before the June.
Yeah.
So that you may get 20% in less than a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think people will look at that spread and go, how
Yep.
come it's not trading at $95? Yeah. So there is an upside there, but of course you have to weigh the risks
And size
And-
your position.
and size your position accordingly.
Yep.
So I think
Yeah.
Victor, you've shown an example of how you could basically, come up with a template
Yes, correct.
of how
Yeah.
you can measure your risk reward
Reward,
ratio
yeah.
and whether it makes sense for you.
Yeah. But then there's still assumption where you have to assume whether it's 50% or 60%.
So that's
yeah.
the tricky
Yep.
part,
That's the trick part.
because no
yeah,
one
yeah.
knows exactly what the probability is,
Yes.
and you have to just come up with
Yeah.
your own internal model of what.
I think the best is when you at a 50-50 and you can get the
Okay.
positive
The-
reward. That
the-
will be a better
So at this point,
yeah.
it's not there.
It's
at all.
not there, yeah, right.
Okay.
The best is when you know Lina Khan personally. You can call her.
I don't think she's gonna tell you anything if she's doing her job
Yeah.
properly. So she's gonna just keep quiet.
Yes.
The integrity of the whole process and everything like
Yeah.
that. All right. So I think if you're checking out this arbitrage opportunity between for Activision due to its Microsoft acquisition, I think this roundtable will hopefully give you a bit more information on how you can weigh your risk and reward ratio if you want to play this arbitrage opportunity. So this is a pretty good wrap up of this arbitrage opportunity with Activision, right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, my name is Adam. With me, I have Rusmin and Victor.
Thank
you so much for watching. And if you like this roundtable, please hit the like button. Tell us we're doing a great job. And of course, subscribe to our roundtable. Many more subscribe to our channel. Many more roundtables coming up as well. And of course, if any questions about this deal and what you think about it, feel free to put them in the comment section. And we'll love to have a conversation with you. So once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you around again.